Hello, good morning, and welcome to another video. So originally I wanted to do a 24-hour readathon, but it's currently Shark Week and I'm exhausted and it's not happening. So we're gonna do a weekend reading vlog where I'm gonna see how much reading I can get done in the next 3 days. So today is Friday and I'm already on my second cup of coffee and it's barely 10 o'clock, so it's gonna be a day. Let me tell you what books that I'm reading. So I'm currently in the middle of 4 different books. Well, technically 3. I haven't started the 4th yet, but I'm gonna start the 4th. So I'm reading The Mermaid by I always want to say Emily Henry, but it's not. It's Christina Henry. I'm reading The Mermaid by Christina Henry. I started this book yesterday. I was feeling a little bit sad, the Shark Week thing. So I needed something that was going to kind of just make me happy and feel kind of comforting, and for me that's mermaid books. So Christina Henry has this group of books that she wrote that are all fairy tale retellings, except they're very, very different from the original fairy tale. So for this one, it's about a mermaid who comes to land. P.T. Barnum from Barnum and Bailey's, the circus, hear rumors about her, and so he's going to find her so that he can make her one of his attractions. So far it's really good. I really enjoy the writing. I'm on page 51, so I really didn't get that far into it, and I think it's about 300 pages. The next book I'm in the middle of is Will. This is written by Will Smith and Mark Manson. Originally I was gonna do a whole video about this with a whole book review, but I feel a little bit weird reviewing somebody's biography. I don't want to put a star rating on somebody's life. I made it to page 34 and I'm on chapter 3, so I'm really just in the beginning, but this is such a great book and I'm really just taking my time with it. There's so many good quotes in here, and you really get to see inside the mind of Will Smith and how he grew up and stuff, and how not everything is what it seems, and it's just so good. It's so good. Next, I'm in the middle of The Gunslinger by Stephen King. This is kind of for a secret TBR, but it's taking me 3 months to read this. I don't know why. There's barely 250 pages in this book, so I have no excuses for why this is taking me so long. And I'm not going to talk about this one too much because there's going to be another video for it. And the last book is a graphic novel. I got this on NetGalley. It's not an ARC, it's already been released, but I was able to get it for no problem. And I'm having this problem with NetGalley where I request books and I get denied, or it takes months and months and months and I never hear back from them. So I'm trying to just give lots of reviews for books I can get through very quickly to kind of make myself seem a little bit more trustworthy. Anyways, the book is called The Young Woman and the Sea by Catherine Meurice. I have no idea how to say her name, and I'm really sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I don't know too much about this graphic novel, but it was kind of compared to Lewis Carroll-esque, and say less. That's all I need. Alice in Wonderland is one of my favorite books. Top tier literature. Anyway, so those are my reading plans. I don't plan on finishing all these. I plan on finishing the graphic novel, The Gunslinger, and we'll see how far I get into The Mermaid, but we'll see what happens. Hello, good morning. Today is Saturday and I am on the floor in my bathroom because I am gonna be putting on some makeup because I'm filming a couple of different videos today and I want to not look like a mess for one of them because one of them is actually kind of important. So I didn't actually get that much reading done. I didn't get as much reading done as I wanted to. I started reading The Young Woman and the Sea this morning, but I couldn't get that far into it. So on my Saturday mornings, I like to just have a lazy start to the morning, and I like to just read in bed with some coffee and just slowly wake up for the day. And yeah, my cat said that was not in the plans for today. So I have 2 cats. I have Chloe, who is 3 years old, and I have Kovu, who is about 6 months old. So Chloe is nice and sane and calm, and Kovu is a literal tornado. Kovu likes to go wild in the morning, and it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter when I feed him, it doesn't matter if I'm giving him attention, if I'm playing with him, he's going to find the tallest mountain of procrastination in this apartment and he's going to climb it. And so that's what he was doing this morning. Anyways, the reason why I'm telling you this is because literally every 2 sentences I had to stop reading so that I can go pull him down from whatever mountain he's climbed. Anyways, let me tell you about what I read. So I got to 34% of the way through The Young Woman and the Sea, and this book is not what I expected it to be at all. So I knew this was gonna be a biography kind of thing. And I see how it's a biography, but it's just really fun to read. It's about this girl who, I think she's from France. It's not exactly explicitly said, and she goes to Japan so that she can paint the landscapes and like be an artist. And she's in this like building where other artists are, and she like meets new people and they talk about art and poetry and some of like, I don't know if they're like cultural stories in Japan, because I mean I'm not familiar with all of that. But so far, it's so good. So, like, there's so much poetry in it, and I'm not really the biggest fan of poetry, but the way that it's just sprinkled in, it's so lyrical. I'm just loving it. It's so good. So then for The Mermaid, I'm on page 104, so since you last saw me, I've read like 50 pages. Like, I tried reading some last night, but last night was a Friday night, and I don't know, man. Sometimes I just like don't want to read on a Friday night. Sometimes I just want to get a little bit sauced and watch a movie with my fiance. So let me tell you what this book is about, because I don't think I told you what it's about because I didn't really know. So this book is about this mermaid, Amelia. So she gets caught in a fisherman's net, and he sees her and notices she's a mermaid and sees how wild she is and lets her go. And the mermaid like swims really far away and she tries to get away, but she's like haunted by his look of loneliness. So she comes back and she transforms into a human, which I think is stupid. If I was a mermaid, I would never be a human, but it's not about me. Anyways, she transforms into a human, and her and the human fall in love and they get married, and they're in this like little sea town in Maine. Mermaids do not age in the same way that humans age, so her husband gets old and he dies, and she's really sad and she grieves him for like 10 years. She just like stands outside their house and like waits for him to come home, and even though she knows he's dead, she still waits for him to come home. And it's like such a sweet little like love story, and it's so sad. So like that's like the whole first chapter, and it takes place over like years and years, like decades. I don't know exactly because they don't say, but we know that it's been like a decade since her husband died when Barnum hears the rumors about her. Fast forward in time, so it's like 1800s, and Barnum has his museum of oddities. He's kind of described as like a really slimy guy. Like he's somebody that I would not want to be around. Chloe, can you chill? Oh, okay. So Barnum decides that the best thing that's going to make him the most amount of money is he needs a mermaid. So he's going to find somebody who he can get to dress up like a mermaid and like basically trick the people that she's a mermaid. Can you get out? Why are you even in there? Okay. She lives there now. So anyways, they go to talk to her and she like immediately does not want to do it, but then she remembers that the whole reason she came to land was because she wanted to see the world, and she can't keep waiting for her husband to come home because she knows he's dead and she knows he's never coming home. But there's like a lot of conflict because like she doesn't want to be an exhibit. She doesn't want to be owned by anybody. She wants to be free. So that's about as far as I got into the book. I'm really enjoying it. It's a really great book. It's definitely not what I expected it to be. It's a little bit darker. But yeah, so I'm gonna finish up my makeup. I'm going to film those couple of videos and then see how much more reading I can get done. Alright, good morning. So it is Monday morning right now. Originally, I was going to do this video just over the weekend, but I didn't really get any reading done this weekend, so I'm going to extend this out to Thursday so that it's like a whole week reading vlog. Yeah, I was just really busy this weekend, and I didn't even think to like record some of it for some like B-roll. But yeah, yesterday was just filled with a whole lot of adulting activities. Like I finally took Christmas down. Like I know it's really late to take Christmas down, but like my birthday's on the 11th and I like to still have Christmas up during my birthday. Like it's like Christmas decorations for my birthday and it just makes me happy, so I just do it. And I had to go grocery shopping and I had to do some Chloe Ting exercises and Emi Wong, and my legs are killing me. But it was just a lot to do yesterday and I didn't really get any time to do any reading. So I did get a little bit further into The Mermaid. I'm now on page 150, so I'm very slowly making my way through this. It's really, really enjoyable so far. So originally I thought this was going to be about exploiting relationships and taking advantage of people who don't really know human custom. Like I thought the mermaid was going to get taken advantage of, but it's the exact opposite. This mermaid is very headstrong and she knows what she wants and she's not going to just stand by and let people take advantage of her. She actually says something that's like really, really important. So there's three main characters. There's Barnum, Levi, and Amelia. Amelia is the mermaid. Barnum is the circus guy, obviously. And Levi guy is Barnum's friend, who is currently acting as protector for Amelia, even though she doesn't need it. Barnum is trying to kind of like get his way, and Amelia's not letting him have it. This is like the little scene I'll just read to you. "Don't worry about him," Levi said. "I'm not," Amelia said. "I only meant don't let him bother you," Levi said. "He doesn't," Amelia said. "Mr. Barnum is accustomed to having his own way. That doesn't mean I'm required to give it to him." And Amelia has this like headstrong attitude throughout like the entire book, like from all the way back before she's ever been a human all the way up until now. And I imagine it's just going to continue. And it's really nice to read about like a strong, willful female lead. Like you don't see that very often, especially if you read a lot of romance books. So like it's a nice change. Also, I don't remember if I said in this video or if I said in another video when I was talking about this book, but I really love the circus. I've been going to the circus like ever since I was a kid. But this kind of shows the more cruel side of Barnum. Like obviously this is a work of fiction, but like it kind of points out some things that probably are true that I never really thought of. So Barnum is written as a very like slimy, money-hungry con man, and it just kind of like breaks my heart a little bit. It's going against this romanticized version of him in my head. And like obviously like I'm not an idiot. I know that the circus is controversial and there's a whole lot of inhumane things happening to those animals. Like I know. I haven't actually been to the circus in like 5 years. It was just a thing that I enjoyed as I was a kid, and it's one of those happy memories you hold on to. But to like acknowledge that that's a happy memory, even though it's not like a very correct thing that happens and it's not like a good thing to be promoting, it still just kind of like hurts a little bit to really actually see what kind of person that Barnum probably was. I don't know if that made any sense. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying this. I did not make any more progress on any of my other books. Like as I said, I barely did any reading this weekend. That's why I'm going to be carrying this reading vlog a little bit longer. Today I do have to work. It's like the way early hours of the morning. This is actually like my coffee break. I'm going to try to do some reading on my lunch break, but I have to do a lot of editing because I want to put up a video tomorrow. Originally it was going to be this one, but now I'm not doing that. I'm doing a different video because this video has no content. So something else will be coming up tomorrow, which is already will have been up when I put this up. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I can finish the graphic novel today and get maybe 50 more pages through this one. I don't know, hard to tell, man. After 8 hours of working and then however many hours it's going to take editing that, and then once the sun is down, I really don't want to do anything. Also, I've been playing this game My Time at Portia, which is like a really fun game, and you can't just sit there and play for like 5 minutes. You have to play for like a couple of hours. And while I've been playing, I haven't actually been listening to audiobooks. I've been listening to true crime YouTube videos. Like I don't know if you know Eleanor Neal, but I love her true crime videos. Like they're just so good. So I've been listening to those while playing My Time with Portia. So it's not exactly reading, but I'm still consuming stories, and it's a fun time. I'll link below the ones that I've been listening to recently. Okay, so I will see you after I've done some more reading. Today is Tuesday, slowly inching along on my reading. I actually decided, like I got fully dressed for the outside, and I decided I was gonna go to Barnes & Noble's and get some Starbucks and read with all the ambiance. And I put on my jacket, I have my purse, and as soon as I get to the door, my cat literally jumped into my arms. He only does this occasionally, but he'll like yell a little bit and he'll walk around my legs, and then he'll like prepare himself and jump, like launch himself at my chest. And my only option at that point is to catch him. And then I felt bad and I couldn't leave. We're not going to Barnes & Noble's today. Instead, we're going to make our own chai tea lattes and read at home and pet the kitties. Even though as soon as I sat down, he no longer wanted to be held. Anyways, so reading. For The Young Woman in the Sea, I'm now at 61%. I read a little bit earlier while I was waiting for a video to upload. Since today is Tuesday and I'm trying to upload every Tuesday and Friday. It's a really fun read. It's one of those things where it's not exactly a story. It's more like an acknowledgement of art and nature. So originally I picked it up because it says it has Alice in Wonderland vibes, and I haven't yet gotten there. I mean, there was a talking raccoon, but it just kind of like fit with the story in a weird way. Like it was just one of those easy to accept things, not Alice in Wonderland-y. But now where I am in the story, she's She's ventured off very far into nature, and now she's trying to make it back to her hotel. And on her way back, all of the nature that we've already seen as being just regular nature looks like it has faces, and like there's some kind of animals or monsters or something. So I'm really interested to see where that is going. And for The Mermaid, I'm on page 207, which is chapter 10, and I don't know, I'm way over halfway at this point. It's such a good story. I don't really want to tell any more about it, but it's just Amelia is being an excellent character. There's a whole lot of feminism going on, which I really appreciate, which is also kind of weird because the book takes place in 1842. I'm sorry this is taking me so long to read. I'm just being a very slow reader right now, and I'm just enjoying what I'm reading, but hopefully by the next time I update you, I will have finished at least one of these. Hello, so today is Thursday and I have some actual updates, and this is going to be like the last clip of this vlog. I haven't looked at the other clips, but in my head they're a complete mess, so I'm sorry if they are. So I finished reading The Mermaid and I finished reading The Young Woman in the Sea. So for The Young Woman in the Sea, I ended up giving it 3 stars. I thought that it had some very beautiful art and it had some very lyrical writing, and as it's based off of author's memories, I can't rate it too low. However, I did find it to be boring at times. There wasn't really a storyline. It was kind of just like a series of events that were happening, and they didn't really have any rhyme or reason, and I would not compare this to Lewis Carroll at all. I mean, it has some moments of some, I don't know, like there's a talking raccoon in it, but I feel like just because you have a talking raccoon, that doesn't mean you're in Wonderland. I don't know. It was a fun read. It was a quick read. It wasn't really that great, and it wasn't something that I would just mindlessly recommend to people. Moving on to The Mermaid. This was also kind of disappointing. I ended up giving this 3.5 stars. So by the time I got to the end of it, I really was disappointed, and I wanted to give it way lower stars, but I enjoyed the beginning so much. I even like went back and started tabbing it up. So I don't want to give any spoilers for this, but basically what happened that kind of turned me off from this is it starts off as a mermaid story with some strong characters, and it slowly devolves into a soapbox for this author to just talk about all the injustices that she has problems with, which, I mean, that's great. Like, I think all of the topics that she touched upon were very important topics and need to be talked about. However, they weren't for this book. Like, they didn't belong here, and the book would have benefited from not having it. Like, okay, maybe like touches here and there. Like, she touches a lot on feminism and slavery as this book takes place in the 1840s. I just kind of thought the way that she went about it got to be a little bit preachy and repetitive, and it didn't belong in a mermaid story, if you know what I mean. I don't know. I think if I knew that that's what this book was going to be about, I would have enjoyed it differently than if I expected it to just be a mermaid story like I did. And because of that, it didn't meet my expectations, and I was disappointed, so I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. And that's really disappointing because I heard that 2 of her other books, I believe Alice and the Lost Boys, were really good and dark and actual retellings. This book wasn't exactly a retelling of The Little Mermaid, like actually at all. It was more a telling of the story of Barnum and his Fiji mermaid hoax. And that's kind of like another thing that, like, if that's what this book was advertised as, I would have enjoyed it differently than if I went into it expecting a mermaid story. I definitely want to read those other 2 books though. Like, they're already on my list, on my Amazon list. So I didn't end up touching these other 2 books, but I plan on finishing this book on Saturday, and this vlog is going to go up on Friday, so it's not going to be included. But I also ignored those 2 books and I started another book because I finally picked one of my mystery books, and that video is going to be coming out soon, so that's really exciting. I'm really happy about it. I started that book and I'm about 15 pages in. I'm not going to tell you anything about it because I still want it to be a surprise, and really, if you're 15 pages in a book, you can't really tell if it's going to be amazing or not. Like, you can't unless you're like fangirling over the author. You just I don't think you can tell in 15 pages. Anyways, so that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.